It's 1 week before my wedding and people be really trying me. Sorry about the noise, you know. I don't even know. I don't have an excuse. All I know is today I woke up to someone literally just trying to piss me off. It's 1 week before my wedding. Well, more than slightly over a week before my wedding blessing. And I'm going to talk about it in the podcast. I don't have the energy to discuss it now. But let me just say this. 1 week before someone's wedding is not when you contact them to tell them you are not coming. And if you're not going to come, try and find a viable excuse that makes sense, that justifies why you're leaving it until 1 week before to notify the bride that you're not coming. And also as well, leave the bride alone. I'd rather you just don't turn up. Telling a bride 1 week before her wedding blessing that you're not going to come is highly selfish, because you're not considering the stress that she's under, considering the fact it's 1 week before, and you know that you could have notified her earlier but you chose not to. Just don't turn up, don't say anything. What you don't do is message me at 8:30 in the morning to come and tell me that you can't come. And yes, I did send her my account details, and yes, she did pay. She had to pay for her and her husband because I paid per head. My wedding is expensive. There has been money spent, and you will pay the money back. Thank you. Moving on. It's the day before the wedding blessing, and I just want to show you the chaos that has ensued. So this is my beauty area. It's just a mess. I started to put things in bed so I don't forget anything, but I'm not used to this level of mess. But I need to just organise myself because there's a lot going on. So Kay and I are going to Boots because I want to see if I can get, you know, Boots do the toiletry bags, but they do them, the clear ones, and there's a massive one, a middle one, and a small one. I need to have that. I need to get that. So I'm just going to put everything in the bed that I need, and once I come back, hopefully I should come back with those toiletry bags and then put everything in toiletry bags. We've already loaded the car with all our clothes and stuff that for the wedding blessing, so it's just makeup and stuff now, and facial stuff and everything. I'm going to do a sheet mask as well tonight. Yeah, everything seems in hand. I would have loved to, like, you know, hi guys, I'm packing my stuff. Watch me pack my stuff, do cutaways like, you know, it ain't nothing. It was something, okay? It's just a lot. So first and foremost, I want to introduce you to my centerpieces. So these are the centerpieces from Etsy, because your girl may have £2,500. I don't have £2,500 for flowers to go in the bin. So we went to Etsy. We got a couple of things to keep it real cute. I'll do some cutaways for you. The girls, the guys, let me just tell you now. Save your money, okay? Because after the day of the wedding, life begins. Hey! And I want to introduce you to my friend Marigold. Look at her. Look at her queening for the queendom.
You know, shining that black girl. Magic!
Can we see your t-shirt, please? Oh, what is that? Toya Talks. Here we have the, what do you call these?
Place cards?
Place cards. You see one, let me tell you about my friend. She's a very correct babe. Me, I call it sitting table. Or what is it? This one is a correct babe. Oh, I don't know if you guys remember when I was on my whole keto journey.
Don't look at me now. Could be eating them chips.
I don't mess up, okay?
Mess up.
And here's like, the frames are from Primark. Oh yeah, I got these frames from Primark, by the way.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. I'm never going to be the person that spends
so creative, you know.
Millions and millions.
Table 9, oh yeah.
I'm not going to be one of those brides or one of those people that spends thousands of pounds for show, and then in the morning you're like asking someone to come and loan you £10. That's not me. We're keeping it funky, we're keeping it creative, we're getting ourselves to Costco, Etsy, we're doing all that. Don't get it twisted. There were certain things I had to invest in, like the wedding coordinator, the MC, and the DJ. But when it comes to flowers and things like that, people are doing what they do in Kew Gardens. Me, I don't have time for that.
Just keep drinking water.
Oh yeah, let me show you my calabash actually. Do you like my calabash? I was gonna get it in black and gold.
Gorgeous. What are you gonna do with it? You know me, I'm a bush girl, I don't know.
You're gonna find out tomorrow.
Oh, so what are you gonna put in your palm wine?
No, but Kay don't drink alcohol.
For what the?
Mineral. Ice water. I mean, put ice water. I'm gonna put ice water.
Oh, I love that. Oh, you can't be like, oh, yeah.
No, come on, let's do rehearsal for them. Just hold it. Hold it. I'll show you how to do it. Dun, 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 dun. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang, gang.
Is that the song, yeah?
No. And then I handed it to him and he drinks it and the crowd know this is my husband.
This is your husband. Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Peace
Good
out.
night.
Let's have to change the battery soon. Good morning. It's Saturday, the 27th of August, 2022. The time is 6:05, and today is the day of the wedding blessing. Now, everything is organised, as you can see over there, in preparation for the wedding coordinators who are going to come and collect this stuff and start preparing downstairs. So we're having an outside ceremony, and then we're moving inside. The day starts at 12. Everyone thinks it starts at 12. It actually starts at 1, but you never tell black people the correct time when an event commences. You give them a wrong time, sometimes even an hour and a half, but I was being nice. I was like an hour early. What else am I doing? So I've been up since 4 a.m. I just keep waking up at 4 a.m. these days. Oh God. My auntie bought me akara and bread. Come and see. Akara, bread, moi moi. If you can see here, all my makeup stuff is laid out. My makeup artist let me down, you know. Don't worry, when I'm doing my makeup, we'll have that discussion. But we thank God for self-taught makeup. We thank God for natural makeup. We thank God for the excellent and beat face. We are seeing this spot and we are just ignoring it because we have the concealer to sort it out. I'm not even excited, I've got to be honest. I think because I've been heavy on organising and sorting stuff and conversations and everything in between, I think it's sucked the life out of me.
We bring our own little black easel as well, just in case we don't like.
The wedding coordinators are here.
The way it looks. Yeah, but the only thing is that we've got the sign for the runner, so that's going to use one of them. Okay, that's fine. Oh, yeah.
They have banned me from getting involved. Apparently I'm not part of the team. No one's talking to you, baby. They kicked me off the squad. Okay.
The squad. We got this.
Come on, I just wanted to show you guys. Look at the queens. Look at the black excellence.
Hi, everybody.
Come on.
We're here to work.
Come on. So yeah, they're here to collect like all the stationery and stuff. Like I've been in contact with them. Obviously for the last couple of weeks and throughout the wedding planning, and I just to let them get on with it. So releasing control. This is how I do my makeup, by the way. I can't sit down in one place. I need to go to different mirrors to get different types of light.
The box and then put this on top of the box.
You see what I mean?
You see what I mean?
Different types of light, different types. So just had a mini meeting with my bridesmaids. Can you believe, I obviously been receiving that messages and stuff, and there's only like a couple of people's phone calls that I've been accepting. And I got a text message from someone who's a friend, and I invited her to the wedding blessing. And then she sends me this message to tell me that she can't get someone to look after her son, so she can't come. And the reason why the person can't look after her son is because the person hurt their foot and now they're in hospital and they need surgery. Like all this script. And I messaged her back and I said, I don't need to know this. The morning of my wedding blessing, I don't need to receive this. I don't actually need you communicating with me about this. I said, do you know how selfish it is to think that it's okay to send this to a bride? And okay, I was married last year, but we're having a wedding blessing. Why do you think it's okay to send that? And then think, I will then be there having a conversation with you. I says, this is not the time and today's not the day. I just feel like if you know that you can't come and it's the day of, don't even message the bride, because she'll probably not even notice. It's when you say it where you're adding to the anxiety. That's what you're doing. You're adding to it. And if you're adding to it, that means you're becoming a problem. And if you're becoming a problem, that means that the last thing that bride is thinking about, or the last annoyance she had, will be that reading that your message. Now, some people will say, well, you can switch your phone off, but obviously I can't do that. But, you know, it is what it is. And like I said before, based on how I was advised by my older friend who, you know, told me that, you know, when you're going through certain stages of life where there's vulnerability, that's when you see who is there and who supports you and all this stuff. But I'm also seeing selfishness on a level that's actually quite shocking. And don't get me wrong, you know, like, things happen, you can't attend to, like, one thing with me is, you cancel on me, I have no issue. But don't, you know, sometimes, actually, it's just like, use common sense. Like, okay, leave the person alone. Like, the bride will probably not even notice. When you're telling me, it's like you want me to do something with it. What do you want me to do with it? Make you feel better? No, I can't. So I just really said it to her, like we're gonna have to use our brain today, please, because I don't actually want to process this stress. Thanks. Emma, you know I will be booking you for everything. So look at my bridesmaid, my best friend, my soul sister, my heart, Lisa. Look at my sister-in-law, the beauty, the one that keeps menacing us with our bad behaviour, but we still love her. No, she's a sweetheart. Look at her. I can't get over you. I can't get over you guys. Oh my god. I love how you guys are wearing heels and I'm wearing... So I'm ready. And I haven't been zipped up yet because I need air to circulate, because I'm not trying to perspirate. Hi everyone. So listen, I wanted to come on here quickly and share some lessons learned from my trad wedding that happened in August 2022, and then obviously I had my wedding registry that happened in 2021. Now with the registry, it was during lockdown, so obviously everyone knows lockdown, you were only at that point allowed 12 people, and it was amazing because it meant that we were being cost efficient in terms of how much we were spending. And my friend was my best friend's amazing and I love her so much. She arranged and booked a restaurant for afterwards, and because of all the money we saved from the registry, we had a lot more money to spend, if that makes sense. So Kay paid for the restaurant, the drinks, the food, everything, and it was just literally 12 people who attended, and it was a very nice registry. It's how I wanted a registry to be. I knew that I didn't want to get married in a church because I'm very spiritual. I grew up in a church household, a church going household, but for me, how I see religion and where I sit on spirituality just meant that registry meant more sense to both myself and Kay. And it was brilliant and I loved it. And we actually got married in the registry in Marylebone, and it was actually the same room that one of the Beatles got married in, Sir Paul McCartney. Don't know if that means anything, but they told us that and I was like, oh okay. The Beatles, okay. I'm not a fan. Anyway, top tips in terms of the trad wedding. So first and foremost, we worked with a company called Simply SOB. Now Simply SOB, I've mentioned them before. I think earlier vlogs you would have seen that I had like consultations with them, and basically you pay for a service with them, and the service is basically you tell them like your color scheme, what you want. So for me, it was to dress the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, myself and Kate. I gave them color schemes, told them what I liked, and then they did like a mood board and they presented that to me, and then they went out and sourced the material. And part of the package of what they provide is when they source the material, they also have like your own website type thing. So your bridesmaids, your groomsmen, people that are wearing SOB, they can go on there and purchase, and then you're not involved in the financial transaction of the purchase. And what happens is Simply SOB will take the orders based on obviously what you've put on the website as your material, and then It's then delivered to the house in really nice boxes and stuff. I'll see if I can put some pictures, insert some pictures so you can have a look. And it just made that side of things really easy. Back in the day, people would be going to Nigeria to go and get material. Some people still do it, nothing wrong with that. But for me, it was about convenience and cost efficiency. The cost it would take, the time it would take to go to Nigeria, source material and get it done, I saved more than enough money in going through this service with Simply As She'll Be. Now, I can't remember off my head how much the whole service cost, but I'm inclined to say it cost just over £1,000 because we paid for the material. So we paid for the bridesmaids and ourselves, me and Kay. I had 2 outfits, Kay had 2 outfits plus accessories. I loved my accessories and I'm so glad I got accessories through them, because again, it's not something I had to think about. I didn't have to now go and source accessories. The She'll Be was on the website. The cost was clear. I can't remember how much it was. I want to say 85, so either 65 or 85. And again, I just didn't want to get involved in that purchasing process. Typically with certain people, they will like charge a certain amount and like they'll go and buy it and then people buy it off. It's just like a mess, and I just didn't. And sometimes it can cause such problems. I've been to many Nigerian weddings where She'll Be has just caused problems, and including the headscarf. Now I got autogele for everybody, so including the bridesmaids, including the ladies of She'll Be. And to be honest, I think some advice I'll give you is not everybody that wears the She'll Be buys the She'll Be is going to wear it. And it could be just because people find it difficult to find a tailor, and that's what I was hearing a lot of. Tailors are not necessarily reliable. Not everybody, obviously, but the ones that I use were not reliable. I know like a couple of my friends had issues with tailors, and unfortunately I couldn't recommend a tailor because I didn't want to be responsible for that tailor, because typically the tailors from ends are not reliable. So I think it's really important that you communicate that the responsibility to find a tailor sits with anybody who wants to purchase any of their She'll Be. With the bridesmaids were the only ones that I kind of got involved. One of my bridesmaids lives in Belgium, so she sorted herself. My best friend, who is the maid of honor chief bridesmaid, I sorted out her tailor, but then my tailor messed up her outfit, so she ended up going to somebody else. So can you see, my tailor, he was a big headache, but I managed to get what I wanted from him when I applied the pressure. One advice I will give, and I've said this before in a previous vlog, do not tell your tailor when you need the material by. Give them a date that is not associated. So for me, say I got married in July, I told them that I need the material in May and I give it to them in March. Can you see? You have to play the game. And it's unfortunate, but especially if you're going to go to ends and get a tailor to do it and you're not necessarily paying over the odds, it's negotiation, especially if you're getting married during high season. High season typically is the summer, where all the parties happen. December time, Christmas time, all the parties happen, and you have to think about the season in which you're getting married, and therefore asking a tailor to sort your outfits and sew your outfits. So that's the tailor, that's the Simply As She'll Be, where I think I save money. Now, I wanted to quickly talk about bridesmaids. Now, I was approached recently by a bride, and she was going through hell with her bridesmaids. I think she had an expectation that her bridesmaids would do certain things and they didn't. And then she didn't know how to get out of that situation in terms of saying to them, okay, you know, maybe this isn't going to work. And what I said to her is, if your bridesmaids cannot send to you, they're not supposed to be bridesmaids. Not everybody who you want to be a bridesmaid has the ability to be a bridesmaid. Being a bridesmaid is a duty, yeah? And it's an act of service. And some people don't have the ability, and it could be that they're just limited. It could be that they're trying to live their wedding experience vicariously through you. It could be that your wedding is triggering them, and therefore they're incapable of centering you. And for me, I'm just so grateful that I had the bridesmaids I did. I had 2. It wasn't originally supposed to be 2. It was supposed to be more. But how I saw the registry in 2021 was a dress rehearsal for the actual trad. And for me, the trad was more spiritual. I think the registry for me was more the legality of things. And I was really happy with my outfit and everything I did, but it was more about the legality of things. I'll talk a bit more about my outfit for the registry, because I don't want to jump, because I feel like I'm going to jump in a minute, like jump different topics. But yeah, so I saw my registry as a dress rehearsal, and the dress rehearsal was as such that I wanted to see how people would interact. I wanted to see, you know, how things would work for the trad, because the trad meant more to me because my dad's passed away. So I was having to do things differently to what I would have done if my dad was alive. That's number one. Number two, because we had learned so much from the registry, I knew that for me the trad was all about happiness, good vibes, good food, good music and enjoyment. I don't care about personalities and people feeling that they need to assert themselves where they don't pay for things, but you feel like you've got an opinion. I wasn't interested in people's egos. If you cannot center a bride during her wedding, when are you going to center her? So for me, relieving the bridesmaids I'd initially chosen from their duty, there was no hard feelings on my side. It's just that when I look back on my wedding, I'm not just looking at the great moments. I'm going to be looking at everything, how I felt. You know, I don't want to be looking for a big biro to start edging people's faces out of my pictures. Absolutely not. So I had 2 bridesmaids, and I just want to say it's the quality of your bridesmaids, it's not the quantity of them. It's the quality of their heart. It's not how many you have, so that you could fill a nice picture and say, oh, you know, I had like 6 or 10 bridesmaids. And if you're able to have a lot of bridesmaids, good on you. But for me, when I look back at my trad wedding, what I think about is, wow, I had bridesmaids that not only were able to center me, but they were so easygoing. They weren't stressed because I literally sorted out everything. All I needed from them on the day was just, for example, I'll give an example. My best friend, so when we were packing things to go inside, or the wedding coordinators were packing things to go inside, she was like, my chief bridesmaid was like my second in command, if you like. So if they needed a decision about something, or they wasn't sure, they'll go straight to my chief bridesmaid. She was able to make decisions. Some things I didn't even hear about. And my bridesmaids kept asking me, Toya, would you want us to do anything? I said, no, I want to just have a good time. No stress, no nothing. Wedding coordinator and wedding planners, there is a difference. A wedding coordinator, typically, they coordinate your wedding on the day, making sure that the centerpieces are done, the tables are done, everything. And they work hand in hand with the venue. Sometimes venues have people who will kind of set up for you and things like that. Some venues don't. My venue did. I got married in Stifford Hall in Essex in Grays, and I got an amazing price because I booked it during lockdown. God is good, oh, God is good. The ancestors are good, oh, good, good, good. Oh, you saved a lot of money. My venue cost about, at the start it was 4.5 grand. It ended up being 5 grand because we chose to not bring our own alcohol, but put money behind the bar. And we had a few more people. We had a total of 60 people, which the magnitude of things is a small wedding. It's not a big wedding. But our thing is, we wanted an intimate wedding. I wanted to look around the room and know everybody there. Yeah? I didn't want to look around the room and think, I don't know you, but you're coming to eat for free. 60 quality people. And when we've looked through the pictures, I'm really happy because everybody is happy. I don't think there was one picture where no one was laughing and not smiling. It was really difficult to choose what pictures would go on the picture wall, what pictures would go on the going up the stairs, because the pictures were all really nice. So what we've decided to do is, all our guests, we're going to print off pictures that we think that they would love and send it to them. Because a lot of them haven't seen the pictures. And also as well, I want them to have a memory of the day. Talking about memory of the day, some people do keepsakes and things like that, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a typical bride, hence why I didn't have a hen do. I'm not interested in all that stuff. It's a waste of my bloody time. My best friend took me to Stockport House for the weekend. We had a spa weekend that was just, for me, amazing. So I'm not a typical bride. So keepsakes, if you know my character, there is no way you would think that I would go for keepsakes. I think keepsakes are a waste of time and a waste of money. The keepsakes are the memories, it's the fun, it's the vibes people are going to have. It's almost a year in August. People are still talking about my wedding. When Kay's goddaughter, who's I think 6 or 7, she was 6 years old, went to Kay recently and said, your wedding was the best wedding ever. I wish I could go back to then and experience it again. When people are coming up to us still today and saying that's the best wedding I've ever been to, that's when you know you've got a good wedding, because you're centering the things that are important. Good vibes, music, food. Let's talk about food. Caterers. You guys know I had a really bad experience with my first caterer who just bowed out. And she bowed out as far as I'm concerned because the original wedding planner and her were bosom buddies, and I had to get rid of my wedding planner because she wasn't doing her job. As simple as that. No argument, no nothing. Got my deposit back, and I feel like the caterer was doing loyalty because it was just so ridiculous. You guys know the story. I shared that she didn't even call me up. She sent me an email, not knowing whether email went in the junk or whatever. I just thank God Almighty that email did not go in my junk box. I saw the email, and actually I'm so happy that original caterer wasn't my caterer, because my actual caterer is just amazing, so professional. And one thing I wanted people to feel like they could take food away. So we had takeaway boxes, and everyone loved it because you had lunch and we had like salmon and all that posh stuff, and then in the evening we had hard body food. And the hard body food I'm talking about is the food that will just be also celebrating in your stomach. We had mac and cheese, we had rice and peas with curry mutton, we had white rice, we had coleslaw, we had salad, we had potato salad, we had chicken wings, we had spare ribs. Did I say mac and cheese? I think I said mac and cheese. And we had a bar as well. So we put money behind the bar, but I don't think a lot of people knew that. And that's something I learned, that the MC should have announced, or we should have said to MC, oh, we've got an open bar, blah, blah, blah. Some people didn't realise we had an open bar, so some people were paying for... That was the only thing I was like, oh. But our caterer is amazing. Her name's Angie. I'll put her details somewhere, or her Instagram. She's so professional, and the price made sense for the 60 people. So hit her up. I vouch for her. She's amazing. Ram the MC is honestly 10 out of 10. Would definitely recommend. Ram the MC as an MC was so amazing. Even like our guests were like, where did you find him? And I was like, and I'm just so glad we met Ram, and I've now seen him go from strength to strength. He's got so many more bookings, and he's just a lovely person. He made the day what it was. Him and the DJ, and we use DJ Emery. Now, if you know anything about DJs, you know you need to get DJ Emery as your wedding DJ, and Emery and Ram have worked together before. It was a match made in heaven. And even, put it this way, we had guests saying, like, we need to book Emery for our 10-year wedding anniversary. We're flying him out. Like, that's how good he was. He really was amazing from the initial interactions. And yes, I had a bit of a meltdown because obviously my DJ's busy and I'm expecting him to pick up my call all the time. He's not going to do that. And I know that now. Especially now that I've come through the other end, I'm thinking, you know, I was a little stressed. But what I liked about DJ Emery is he runs his business like a business. You know, you get a booking form, you get confirmation emails, you get the meeting that you have with him to go through music. He wants to get to know myself and Kay, and in your case, the couple who are getting married, what's their music preferences, what do they enjoy. And I loved that part of the process because it meant that it then transcended into the wedding. I think that there is a balance between culture and cost. And whilst everybody will tell you what you should be doing, it's coming out of your pocket. And one thing I'm going to say that I love is Kay and I played, we held the pipe, we were the pipe and played the tune because it came out of our money. We didn't borrow, we didn't need to take a loan out, we didn't use credit cards, we paid with cash. Yeah, we paid with cash. And we were able to do that because we kept the costs low and we were reasonable with the costs, and we wasn't trying to make people happy because of culture. Now, if you don't know, I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo. Kay is half Kenyan, half Tanzanian. So you've got East and West Africa, and you've got different ways of doing things. But what I loved is both sides just understood that, number one, it was our day. Number two, we were doing things how we wanted to do. And we were honouring certain parts of our culture. We honoured my father and things like that. But ultimately, the culture is about love, happiness and peace. And that's what came through in our wedding. We didn't have a high table. No one's higher than anyone. And I'm not criticising anyone that has a high table. But we didn't want a high table. And we didn't want a high table because, number one, I can be a little socially awkward. I don't want people just staring at me like that. Secondly, I just felt like, who are you going to start put on a high table now? This one will tell you they know your great-great-grandfather. This one will tell you they know your grandfather's auntie's uncle's sister. I just was like, no. I didn't do that. We didn't have a wedding cake. I don't like cake. I like cupcakes though. So we decided to get a donut wall. You're probably looking at me thinking, donut wall? I'm going to try and see if I can find the picture of the donut wall. Because I don't even think I had time to take pictures of the donut wall. Which I should have taken pictures because I was sitting near it. Listen, Kay's goddaughter came over to me. She said, Auntie, please, I need one donut, you know. Because it just looks so nice. And we got all vegan donuts because, listen, I wasn't ready to deal with anyone's intolerances. And let's talk about centerpieces. People are spending thousands of pounds on centerpieces. I need you to know, at the end of the wedding, they go in the bin. You might take 1 or 2 for posterity and the rest are going in the bin. So you imagine you've got 60 people. I can't remember how many tables it was. 10? Who knows? I can't remember. All I know is those centerpieces that I got were from Shein. I keep saying it was from Etsy. I keep telling people it's Etsy. It's not at Etsy. It's Shein. What I got from Etsy was, you know, like we had like a seat planner. Our seat planner was dope. I'll see if I can find a picture. I'll insert it. Our seat planner was from Etsy. I had a canvas done based on a picture from Etsy from one company. And I'm talking, I saved a lot of money. The sweet table, I mean, the sweets I think I spent about £50 on the big sweets. The jars were like £5 each, if that. And I filled them the day before. The centerpieces, let's talk about centerpieces. With these centerpieces, I'll put a picture up somewhere. I think I paid in total for my centerpieces maybe £150. No more than 200. And I bought the flowers and stuff differently, the faux flowers and the actual centerpiece thing. And it was based on the colour scheme of the wedding, which was orange, gold, black and cream. You're probably thinking, how does that work? When everybody saw everything come together, it was dope. And people say, oh, you can't have black in a wedding. You can have anything you want in a wedding, especially when you're the one writing the check or you're the one paying. So the centerpieces, I put them all together a night before, and I think you would have seen it in this vlog. The wedding coordinators in the morning, they came and collected everything. I got to the venue a day before, so I was able to put it how I wanted it to, how I envisaged it. And I know some brides are like, oh, I don't want to have to get involved in things like that. That's fine. You can get your wedding coordinators to do it. You're going to have to pay for that level of service, which is not going to be that much more, to be fair. But I wanted a bit more of a hands-on approach because I knew how I wanted my centerpieces to look. And it was just easier for me based on how many tables and how many guests to just do it the day before, have it all there, and the wedding coordinators come in the morning, take it, and they just like put it in the center. I loved the centerpieces. Everybody loved the centerpieces. Big shout out to Nkechi because she put me on to Shein and Etsy. She put me on, and literally centerpieces were between 150 to 200 pounds max. Now when we're talking about the donut wall, I don't even think the donut wall was 100 pounds, and if it was, I think it's a good price. Maybe 150. Let's call it 150. That's nothing. How much is a cake? Wedding cake. As soon as you put wedding at the front of a sentence, quadruple the cost of it. When you now start thinking a bit more outside the box, you're going to start saving money. Now it's not to say that we couldn't go and get a £5,000 cake, but now it's almost a year on. Does anybody? They've already gone to the toilet and emptied their bowels of that wedding cake that you then spent £5,000 on. When you get the donut wall, it's nice, it's modern, and you're not spending that much money, but you're doing something very nice. It's still a dessert at the end of the day. Who are you trying to impress, this? Who? Now, when it came to wedding gifts, I've got to be honest with you. Now, one of my aunties, she rang me. She said, Toya, whilst I know that you don't want anything for your wedding, there's no how I can turn up with nothing. In fact, it's offensive to expect me to do that. So I said, okay, you know what? Cool. We said to everybody, we don't need any gifts. the gift of your presence is more than enough for us, that you're sacrificing your weekend, your bank holiday to come spend it with us. However, if you feel that you would like to, please give vouchers. And for example, Selfridges or John Lewis. Yeah? We got so many vouchers, we were shocked. Because, again, it's not something that we wanted, but also as well, I didn't want to have a wedding registry. I felt, personally for me, I don't like wedding registries because you're effectively telling them, this is what, I personally can't do it. I don't like that. But I understand why people do it, because at least you're getting what you want. I also want to talk about wedding decor. So our venue was already kind of decorated. Working with a lovely lady. I'm going to put her company here. And what she did is over the sweet table and over the donut wall, she did some balloons. And she did orange, gold and black. It was beautiful. I'll see if I can find it somewhere here. She's so professional. She came early. She worked with wedding coordinators, got her time slot in, came in, did the damn thing. And she also gifted us the forever roses, the big balloon. And I'll see if I've got a picture. I think I've got a picture somewhere, so I'll insert it here. So I'm going to end with this. And what I'm going to do is open it up to any questions. If anyone's got any questions, leave it in the comment section and I'm going to respond. What I think was really great about our wedding blessing, is the fact that our venue had a hotel within the venue. Now what that does is, number one, it creates less stress for your guests. Number two, it means your guests can fully enjoy the day, knowing that they're either going to come a day before or they're going to come and stay the day of, or both. We had a lot of people who came a day before the wedding, got themselves situated. Then they're not going to be late, are they? And even if they are, they're still going downstairs. And they stayed the day of. Our wedding was supposed to be finished at midnight. We finished at 2 o'clock in the morning. Because also the venue was so cool. They were like, when the wedding finished and everything, like the music finished, we went into this bit called the library. And we were just hanging, chilling, talking, laughing, joking. And then we woke up in the morning. And then we had breakfast. Everyone was all worse for wear. And everyone was tired. But no one felt pressure. Oh, they've got to go at this time. Or, do you understand? And as part of the package within the actual venue hotel bit, is you have breakfast. And they've got restaurants on site as well. Like the day before, if you get there, you want to eat something. In the morning of the wedding, you eat breakfast. Obviously, then you have the wedding itself where we're catering fully for you, and then the next day you've got breakfast. And I just think that made for a very, very nice time. Our guests were relaxed, and because they were relaxed, they were able to just fully immerse themselves in the day and just have a good time. I would strongly recommend, if you're going to do a wedding blessing, try and do it where they have a hotel on the venue, or, do you understand? Or just, for me, I just felt like that's what also brought the wedding together. And the only thing I would do differently is I would have made sure periodically to tell the MC that we had an open bar. And that's just because I thought people knew. And I made that assumption. But that would be the only thing. And it's literally me that forgot to say it. Me and Kay forgot to tell the MC. And that's the only information that we would possess. So yeah, that's the only thing I feel like I would do differently. I would invite the same guests. I would take the same pictures. My photographer's amazing. We used the same photographer from the wedding registry. Again, the wedding registry for me was like a dress rehearsal for the wedding blessing. So we used some of the same vendors, and because we'd already tried and tested them, they were fantastic. I would just say, especially because we're living in a cost of living crisis, but even more so from the pandemic, whereby we had an opportunity to sit with ourselves and really understand finances, how to save, understand financial literacy and things like that. I think it's really, really important that you cut your cloth according to your size, because after your wedding, it's just you and your partner. And there is nothing more pressurizing within a marriage than owing because you were trying to keep up with the Joneses, or because people were using culture as a weapon to force you to spend money. And I think the freedom I felt, and I know Kay felt the same, that we spent what we could afford and we cut our cloth according to our size. But we had the best wedding. It was, I'd call it premium. The food was top tier, and everything that we had, from the vendors to the centerpieces to the food to the donut ward to the everything, was premium top tier. But we were very cautious not to put ourselves in financial debt or a financial detriment, just so we can say we did, and did a tick box exercise. What we have done is been able to freely celebrate our wedding registry that we had, so the legal wedding and the trad wedding. And I'm just so excited to look back every time and have fond memories of the guests, the choices we made, and the good vibes that was had. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that informs you of at least things to think about. If you've got any questions, please leave your questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. And thank you so much for watching. And I just feel so blessed to be able to say married life wasn't started on the backdrop of arguing about money. It was started on good vibes, good people, fun, laughter, and good food. Oh, and good music. I'll see you all in my next vlog. Bye.